Hello ladies and gents, and welcome back to another movie review, as today I am here to review Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's right, the long-awaited Snyder Cut, and it's directed by Zack Snyder. At least I think. I don't know, maybe you can Google that up. And it stars Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, and Henry Cavill, and it's about Bruce Wayne enlists newfound ally Diana Prince to face an even greater threat. Together, Batman and Wonder Woman work quickly to recruit a team to stand against this newly awakened enemy. Okay, now I wasn't one of those people that was posting hashtag Save the Snyder Cut every single day for the past 4 or 5 years or so. But leading up to it, especially the last 24 hours or so, I was getting some excitement jitters for this movie. I was actually kind of excited to see it, and after watching it, this was very good. Now let's first start off with the characters, and each of the characters easily get 10 times more fleshed out in the Snyder Cut than the theatrical cut, and I liked all of the characters in this movie, no doubt about it, but to me, I think the standout of the movie was Superman, surprisingly, and that is because of one scene and one scene only, and that is the black suit flight scene. That scene was fantastic because it felt earned. It didn't feel like empty fan service. It felt earned, and with the score and with the voiceover from Russell Crowe and Kevin Costner, his two father figures, I don't remember their character names, which is why I'm referring to them by the actors, and the music again was quite good, not only in that scene but in the movie as a whole. I mean, whenever the Justice League is going into battle against Steppenwolf and his squad, I mean, you're just bopping your head up and down to that score, all amped up. And speaking of Steppenwolf, I definitely think he was much better in this version, which is something I think I'm going to be saying throughout this review. His look, I think, was better. You know what his motivation is. He kind of had a little bit of a Ronan the Accuser vibe, you know, trying to get Darkseid's trust back, just as Ronan was so loyal to Thanos. And going into my next point, one thing that I thought Zack Snyder did very well with this movie, that I also thought he did quite well with Batman vs. Superman, was connecting past major events from previous films to other characters and kind of seeing where they were in the time of that big event. And he did that at the beginning of the Snyder Cut, like he did with Batman vs. Superman, where he showed Superman's death, and then he showed Cyborg's reaction and where he was, and then he went to the Atlanteans and what was going on there during Superman's death, and like how the mother box was starting to come alive, I guess you can say. And then they go to the mascara and what's going on there, same thing as Atlantis, and I really liked that. I like how he's connecting everything. It's a nice introduction into the story. Now, the first hour and a half of the movie, it's solid, it's enjoyable, it's certainly better than the theatrical cut, from the dialogue between Batman and Aquaman and their first meeting scene, to the Wonder Woman introduction scene, to the song that they use at the beginning. I believe it's called The God Will Outlive Us or something like that, to basically everything else is better than the theatrical cut. There were a few little flaws that I had with that first hour and a half or so. One of them were a few cuts as far as editing wise. There was a cut that was between the mascara scene where the mother box kind of reopens, I guess you can say, and then one of the Amazons says, "Oh, go get the queen," and then it just cuts to Bruce Wayne in Iceland or Poland or wherever he is, going to go meet Aquaman. And that kind of was like, whoa, we were just in the mascara, she said, "Go get the queen," and then boom, we just go to the future and there's Bruce Wayne in Poland. So that didn't 100% work for me. There was another cut that took place in between Cyborg flying away from the fight at Gotham Harbor, and then it just cuts to Steppenwolf playing with mother boxes, and that kind of felt weird because it didn't feel like the scene before that was completely finished. So again, that didn't 100% work for me, but that's just a minor nitpick. I also thought the flashback battle scene between Darkseid and like the Lanterns and the Atlanteans and all those powerful people, I thought that fight scene, while it looked good, don't get me wrong, but I thought Diana's voiceover was a little bland at times. It didn't really get your attention. To me, it kind of felt like a student saying a speech for student council. I don't know why, but that thought just came into my head. But anyways, really solid stuff in that first half. But you don't really get into the juicy stuff, the stuff that you really get excited for, until that last hour and a half of the movie. And you know what I'm talking about if you've seen the Snyder Cut, and I'm taking that you have, from the Martian Manhunter scene where Martha just transforms into Martian Manhunter. Very shocking, one of the most shocking moments of the entire movie. Of course, to the Superman resurrection scene, seeing Wonder Woman's dead body. I was like, whoa. And then Superman holding Batman's mask. Again, Superman's resurrection scene was definitely done better in this version than the theatrical version. Probably the 100th time I've said that. And then, of course, the flying black suit scene with Superman, like I've already talked about, to then the epic fight at the end between the Justice League and Steppenwolf, which then leads up to Steppenwolf's brutal, and awesome death. I mean, that was some finisher move from one of the Injustice games that was pulled off there. What a death, what a way to go out. And I mean, I guess you can call him Stepped on Wolf now because, you know, get it, Darkseid stepped on him. And then capping off the movie, or at least what I kind of thought was going to cap off the movie, but there was 3 scenes afterwards, and that is Cyborg getting the voice recorder that his dad had left a message on for him before he died, of course, and him finally listening to that message, and his dad basically saying a little spiel there towards the end. And Cyborg, another character that really benefited from this 4-hour runtime. Again, another character that got fleshed out. You got to see more of his background, his relationship with his mom, why he is the way he is now in the story. By the way, the scene where he says, "I am not broken," I thought that line was fantastic. Really liked that line. Now, the Snyder Cut definitely felt like it had multiple endings, as I kind of hinted at earlier. But I feel like if this were to be released theatrically, or if this was the actual version that was released in 2017, I feel like the last 3 scenes would have been like end credit scenes or something, to be honest with you. But I got a big kick out of those last 3 scenes. Obviously, the first one being Lex Luthor meeting with Deathstroke, which we saw a version of in 2017's Justice League, but this version of the scene was written much differently, and I really dug this scene. I liked that Lex Luthor revealed Batman's identity to Deathstroke, saying, "Oh, Batman's Bruce Wayne." Had very Far From Home vibes to it, and then, you know, they do a little toast to it at the end. And then the nightmare scene happens, and I was waiting the whole entire movie for this scene. I'm like, where is this scene that there's been a whole hubbub about? Where is it? I've been waiting for it. Apparently Joker's supposed to be in it, and finally we get to it. And again, another scene that I enjoyed very much. And look, is Jared Leto's Joker my favorite Joker? No. Is he top 3 Joker? No. But I thought the dialogue between Batman and Jared Leto's Joker was good. I really enjoyed it. When Joker says, "Oh, you sent a child to do a man's job," obviously referencing Robin there, I was like, that was a good line. That was a good line. I give you props there. That was good. And how he's kind of playing around with Batman. Really enjoyed that back and forth there. And then Superman arrives. He sees Batman, Joker, Mara, who's also there, Cyborg, Flash, Deathstroke. And then Bruce Wayne wakes up from that nightmare, and he goes outside of his house, or his mansion, Wayne Mansion, and then he meets Martian Manhunter, a scene that then kind of teases stuff for the future that we probably will never see, so oh well. But anyways, I really liked the Snyder Cut. It's definitely a million times better than the theatrical cut, from the characters to story, from action to music to cinematography to everything. It does have its little flaws here and there, like I kind of mentioned. I thought Batman's voice also sounded kind of weird, to be honest with you. And the movie is 4 hours long, and I think there's really only 2 scenes that probably could have been taken out. One of them has to do with Aquaman saving a guy from a boat. There was another scene that I can't really think of off the top of my head, but I know there was another scene that I didn't think should be there, or didn't have a purpose to be there. But overall, I think Zack Snyder did a really good job on doing the Snyder Cut here, and I'm glad that he got his vision out there into the world. And I'm going to give the Snyder Cut, or Zack Snyder's Justice League, a 4 out of 5 Fernies. I'm bringing back the scale because I just felt like it. And with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe because that is very important. Also, leave a comment down in the comment section below of what you think of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and do you think it's better than the theatrical cut? I'm sure there's going to be some people out there that think the theatrical cut is better. Still haven't met those people, but I'm sure they're out there. And you can also follow me at The Kid Critic on Instagram, or at AD_TheMovieMan on Letterboxd or Twitter. And as always in every single video, look out for the next video or review. And peace.